I accept no responsibility for the misuse of any information given during this speech. Creating a campfire can be a fun and memorable experience. I've been making and cooking over fire since I was 8 years old. Today we're going to briefly go over the 3 legs of the fire triangle, the basic steps in creating a fire, and how to properly extinguish it. Humans have been making fire longer than recorded history. According to Philip Ross of the International Business Times, humans have been making fire for over 350,000 years. Matches haven't been invented since the mid-1800s. So now we're going to look at what makes a fire, called the fire triangle. It consists of 3 legs: the fuel leg, which is what burns the wood or the oil; the heat source, which is what starts the combustion; and oxygen, which supports the flame. Alright, what are we going to use for each leg? For the fuel leg, we're going to use wood. The heat leg can be a match, a lighter, or a magnifying glass, or even a lemon. According to reference.com, wood starts to combust at 280 degrees Celsius. So anything that can get that hot will work for the heat leg. And the oxygen will supply itself. Now we know how the fire works. Let's look at a way to make a one-match fire. First, we need a good location. You don't want to start a fire under any low-hanging branches or close to any trees or structures. And you want to clear about a 10-foot radius circle around where you're going to make a fire of dry leaves and branches. Then we need to build a containment barrier. This can be made out of rocks or bricks or a metal ring or pre-made fire pit, anything that won't burn or melt. It can be any size you want depending on how big of a fire you want to make. Now we need to gather the fuel. There are 2 basic wood types you can burn: hardwoods and softwoods. The hardwoods will burn longer and smell better. The softwoods might burn hotter, but they'll burn faster and they tend to not smell very good. But regardless of the kind of wood, it needs to be dry wood. So it can't be green, and you don't want to pick it up off the ground because it will absorb moisture from the ground. So high wood is dry wood. We'll need about 4 different sizes of wood to start the fire. We'll start with a handful of toothpick diameter branches, then pencil diameter branches, paper towel diameter branches, and finally about a 4-inch diameter logs. And we'll need a tinder bundle, which can be paper or dry grass or even dryer lint. So to start the fire, we'll take the tinder bundle and place it in the center of the fire ring and place the toothpick size branches on top of it. And we'll take our match and start at the bottom because the fire will burn up. Once the small branches have caught, we'll add the pencil size branches in a teepee over the smaller branches until they catch. And then we'll place the paper towel roll size branches over that and keep feeding it pencil size branches until they catch. Once the larger logs have caught, you can add pretty much any size you want because it'll be hot enough to catch any wood on fire. Once your fire has burned down, you'll have to make sure it's extinguished. According to the National Fire Prevention Association, there were over 1,419,000 fires in 2017 alone. They killed 3,400 people, and 90% of those were caused by humans. So to extinguish the fire, you want to basically just drown it in water. You want to pour water over it until you see no more steam and no more smoke. Then you want to stir it, and you want to pour more water on again until there's no heat coming off of it. Now, knowing how to start a fire can be a life-saving skill. It can be fun and challenging and rewarding. Besides providing warmth, nothing tastes better than food cooked over an open fire.